everybody, I'm Lara Trump. 2018 was a year of promises made and promises kept by President Donald Trump. Thanks so much for joining us to reflect on the president's year of accomplishments for the American people. In 2018, President Trump held more than 40 rallies in over 20 states.
By the way, is there anything more fun than a Trump rally? Is there, seriously?
After Labor Day and before Americans made their way to the polls on Election Day, nearly 500,000 hardworking American patriots attended 30 rallies for 43 candidates in competitive races across the country. Thanks to the president, historic gains were made in the Senate by flipping 4 seats, allowing Republicans to grow their majority. As a candidate, Donald Trump made it clear that he would nominate conservative justices to the federal courts to uphold the Constitution. As such, in July, President Trump nominated Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
He is considered a judge's judge, a true thought leader among his peers. He is a brilliant jurist with a clear and effective writing style, universally regarded as one of the finest and sharpest legal minds of our time.
But obstructionist Senate Democrats made every attempt to derail the Kavanaugh nomination. They even went as far to make awful attempts to smear Judge Kavanaugh's impeccable reputation with no proof, just accusations. With the help of courageous Republicans like Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, and Lindsey Graham, the Senate eventually confirmed Judge Kavanaugh, allowing President Trump his second appointment to the Supreme Court.
Under the Constitution and laws of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
President Trump promised to appoint judges who don't legislate from the bench, and this promise was kept with the nomination and confirmation of Judge Kavanaugh. President Trump kept his promise this year and delivered on a modern trade deal with Mexico and Canada, ultimately undoing the terribly negotiated NAFTA deal.
The USMCA is the largest, most significant, modern, and balanced trade agreement in history. All of our countries will benefit greatly. It is probably the largest trade deal ever made also. In the United States, the new trade pact will support high-paying manufacturing jobs and promote greater access for American exports across the range of sectors, including our farming, manufacturing, and service industries.
The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, will do what NAFTA could not: protect the American worker and American businesses. The USMCA will keep up with the United States' changing economy, keeping manufacturing jobs in America, protect intellectual property rights, and have strong measures on digital trade. As the president continues to fight for the American worker, he will continue his calls for other countries to respect America on trade by making it free, fair, and reciprocal. In Singapore, President Trump held a historic summit with Chairman Kim Jong-un of North Korea.
In June, I traveled to Singapore to meet face-to-face with North Korea's leader, Chairman Kim Jong-un. We had highly productive conversations and meetings, and we agreed that it was in both countries' interest to pursue the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Since that meeting, we have already seen a number of encouraging measures that few could have imagined only a short time ago.
As a result of the talks, President Trump and Chairman Kim agreed to new relations that will ultimately lead to lasting and stable peace on the Korean Peninsula, complete denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula, and also resulted in the recovery and return of the remains of fallen U.S. soldiers from the Korean War. These remains eventually made it home, where Vice President Mike Pence and the Second Lady stood by to see the arrival of these heroes back onto American soil. Under President Trump's bold international leadership, this year the United States finally acknowledged Jerusalem as Israel's capital.
It is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. While previous presidents have made this a major campaign promise, they failed to deliver.
Today, I am delivering. I've judged this course of action to be in the best interests of the United States of America and the pursuit of peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
After decades of inaction from past administrations, President Trump officially opened the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, fulfilling a promise made to one of America's strongest allies. This move was simply recognizing reality, and it comes as the Trump administration continues to make great strides in Middle East peace negotiations between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Once again, President Trump urged politicians in the swamp to get tough at the southern border. But in 2018, our country faced a major crisis at the border, a caravan of illegal aliens attempting to invade America. This renewed the president's call to finish building the wall.
We are about law and order and borders and jobs, and they are about allowing crime to enter our country with open borders. Because many of those people, a percentage, fairly big percentage of those people are criminals, and they want to come into our country, and they're criminals. And it's not happening on my watch. It's not going to happen.
The president acted swiftly to stop anyone from entering our country illegally. To assist Customs and Border Patrol agents, the president sent the military to the border and said that nobody in the caravan could enter the U.S. without approval. This bold and courageous leadership by the president continues to keep America safe. Now it's time for Congress to do their part and secure the border. This year, the president signed a bill called Right to Try. This legislation allows terminally ill patients to have access to various medical and drug treatments that are not yet approved by the Food and Drug Administration.
Right to Try law I'm signing today, patients with life-threatening illnesses will finally have access to experimental treatments that could improve or even cure their conditions. These are experimental treatments and products that have shown great promise, and we weren't able to use them before. Now we can use them, and oftentimes they're going to be very successful.
Right to Try has the power to save thousands of American lives and gives families more options to bring their loved ones back to better health. 2018 was another year of promises made and promises kept for the American worker, helping to make the American economy stronger.
So here are just some of our great achievements. Economic growth, the last quarter hit 4.2%. Unthinkable. Unthinkable. Jobless claims just fell to a nearly 50-year low. Jobless claims, isn't that nice? Think of it, jobless claims. So number one, the people are happy. Number two, the country saved a fortune. Think of it. Jobless claims fell to a 50-year low. We've created over 4 million new jobs since our election. We've lifted almost 4 million Americans off food stamps, saving a fortune, and they're happy. We've added nearly 400,000 new manufacturing jobs, remember? You'll never have another manufacturing job, right? He's a guy. You'll never have another manufacturing job. Remember the magic wand? What's you gonna get, a magic wand? Yeah, I got a magic wand.
This year alone, the president repealed 22 regulations for every one regulation made. Jobless claims hit its lowest level in 45 years. Consumer confidence hit an all-time high. Unemployment has hit a 50-year low. And African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment hit all-time lows. President Trump also took strides to keep the American worker protected by placing tariffs on countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and the EU, who have been taking advantage of America for far too long. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We look forward to another year of promises made and promises kept under President Trump with all of our great supporters.